So in this session, we are going to discuss about the coroutines, and that I can say that is the really important part in Android interview. We must know about the coroutines, what actually the coroutines are, and how we can use that, and what like how the things are working internally, right? So we will try to cover the coroutines from the basic to the advanced. Okay. So before starting the class, first I just want to know from you guys like how many of you know about the coroutines? Just in a single word or single line. Can anyone explain me?
So coroutines are like lightweighted thread, and there are multiple coroutines run in a single thread, and they can suspend and resume from where they are suspended.
Okay. So before moving to the coroutines, so we have discussed about the thread. Now, can anyone tell me what actually the threads are and why we use the threads?
Thread is a worker which execute a block of a code actually.
Okay. And how many types of thread we have?
Background thread is there and main thread.
Means UI
This
thread
is,
in Android.
yes.
Okay. And before the thread, is there anything else that we have? Like threads are working in which system? So do you know something about the process? What is process?
So any app which is running, which is loaded in the RAM, basically that is known as process.
Okay, so means like if any app is open or start running, I can say a process is created.
Yes.
Okay, and inside the process, I can say or can I say that threads will work because inside the application we need to do a lot of work. Either it can be a
Yes.
logical part, network calls, or to display a UI, these kind of things. So these all will do or happen on the threads, right? Okay, so first let me share my screen, then we will discuss this thing from the very basic. Is my screen visible?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
and kindly let me know if my screen is stopped. Please let me know at that time. Okay, so we will discuss the things one by one. Like I have made this complete a lot of things. I have write this a lot of thing here today, and we will try to discuss all the things. So initially, what is basically process? So process is a running instance of a program that we have discussed. When you open an app, the operating system creates a process for it, right? That process has its own memory, its own resource, and at least one thread to execute code. So it means like a process must have at least a single thread, at least. Correct? Now, what about the thread? So, thread is the smallest unit of execution inside a process. Means thread is responsible for the execution of code or for the execution of any work, right? Which we need to do inside a process. A process can have multiple threads which can be working at the same time. Clear? Let's say like process equal to an app is running. Thread worker that runs the code inside the app. Clear?
So, sorry to interrupt, Ajib.
Yes, yes.
So can't we consider a process as a thread?
No, we cannot consider a process as a thread because a thread it will only lie inside a process. Just like
Okay.
we
So
cannot consider a coroutine as a thread, similarly, we
Mhm.
cannot consider a thread as a process. Process is a single process, but inside a single process, we can create a lot of threads.
So the default thread is not a process, right? The main
Yes,
thread
yes,
basically.
yes, correct. It is not a process. Remember one thing in application, when my application is start, so there will only one UI thread or main thread is only one. There cannot be multiple main threads. So main thread should be only one, but background threads can be a lot of or multiple threads. So types of threads in Android. So there can be two types, main thread or background thread, or I can say a worker thread. So main thread is a UI thread in which my UI is drawn and which is visible to the user, or all UI related task that is happening, so that we will run on the UI thread, right? Now, if we talk about the background thread is basically a worker thread. Now, worker thread means any work that we need to done inside my application. Either it may be network call, database operation, files, input output write operations, heavy computations just like sorting, searching, filtering, these kind of things, or JSON parsing. So these kind of things can be run on the background thread because it took some time to execute, right? We should not do these operations on the UI thread, because if we do these operations on the UI thread, ANR will happen. Correct? Now we will discuss the ANR as well. So this is, there is only one main thread per process that I have told you. So if this thread block, UI freeze, and if my UI is freeze, so means ANR is come. Now what is ANR? ANR is application not responding. I think we have discussed multiple times in this bootcamp. Correct? ANR. Yes. So what is ANR? ANR means application not responding when the main thread is blocked for too long. Too long means, let's say, like more than the 5 second. So if the main thread does not respond to the user input within 5 seconds, so it triggers the ANR. Means if my main thread is blocked more than the 5 second, so it means it will give the ANR, or application not responding, right? Let's say I said that when I create a process, or like when I open app and a process is created, correct? Now inside the process, my there is one main thread. Now inside this main thread, what if I do thread dot sleep? Means what I'm trying to do, I'm calling this thread dot sleep. What it does? Dot sleep. So basically, it sleeps the main thread, or current thread actually, not the main thread. So on which thread we call this, so it will freeze, or like it will sleep the current thread. So if we call this thread dot sleep on the main thread, so it will freeze the UI, because here is the second 6 second more than the 5 second. So till 6 second, my main thread or my UI or my app is unresponsive. Clear? Let's say when user click a button, right, and on the button I am calling this thread.sleep 6 second. So what will happen? My thread is going to the sleep for the 6 second. So at that time UI become freeze, like user cannot interact with the UI, right? So after, even after the 5 second as well, it will give the ANR dialog. Clear? These are the very basic that we must understand before going to the coroutines.
I have two questions here.
Yes, Prashant.
So sometimes when there was no coroutine and we are working, sometimes it's showing that too many frames are there. So it's showing that this much frames has been skipped because main thread is doing too much work on the. So what is the frame here?
What happens in that case, the app is actually dropping the frames, like what is the app like frame dropping? Because like when the UI is taking too much time to render on the screen, so it means the frames are going to the drop,
Yes.
right? So usually the meaning is this, correct? And if I can say, the like UI thread cannot render the frames fast enough because UI thread is unresponsive.
But I was getting means when I was developing, I was getting all the what the UI part I've added. It was rendering properly, but still I was getting this message. So
Rendering a frame is only required, let's say you understood a 60 fps. Do you know the 60 fps?
no.
So basically Android tries to render the 60 frames per second. 60 fps means
Okay.
Android tries to render 60 frame per second, means one frame in how many second?
1 second.
60 frame per second, so it means like
Sorry, one. Yeah. So
one
divided
frame,
by 100. Point
yes,
six.
means like 16 millisecond,
Yes.
correct? Every 16 millisecond, so I think like the system expect to draw the UI complete measuring and whatever the life cycle of the UI or view, on draw, on measure, render, layout. So all these functions it needs to call in a only like 60 millisecond.
Okay.
Correct. So inside the 60 millisecond, one frame execution or rendering should be completed. Now if it is taking, or like if my UI is taking too much time than the 60 millisecond, it will give the error that frame is.
Okay.
So in simple terms, basically Android tries to render the 60 frames per second, right? So means one frame it will try to render in the 60 millisecond. Clear?
Okay.
Now if it is
Yes.
taking the too much time, like more than the 60 millisecond, so means frame is skipped.
Okay.
Everyone got it? Everyone? Like Prashant asked the good question. Okay, so let's say like if it is rendering in the like 25 millisecond or like 40 millisecond or like more than the 16 millisecond, correct? So it the frame will be skipped. Now we understood this thing. Okay, now let's move to the, so we understood the basic like frames, process, thread, ANRs, types of thread. We understood this thing. Now let's move to the coroutines. Okay, so before moving to the coroutines, let's try to see this with an example. Okay, see this is my simple button. Correct. And inside this simple button, what I am doing, I am just calling this long running task. This is my simple button. Inside this on click, what I am doing, I am calling this long running task. Inside the long running task, what I am doing, thread.sleep 5 second. So what it will do, it will cause the ANR. Let's see. If I click on this, I clicked here. Let's wait for 5 seconds. Now after the 5 second, it gave me job ready bootcamp app is not responding. Right, means I got an ANR because my current thread, where is my current thread? Current thread is sleep. You can see I am not specifying any thread here. So by default, my UI is rendered on the main thread. So it means whichever the current thread, it will freeze that for a 5
Can
second.
you can you print the both the thread and the on create and here also thread dot sleep which thread it is
Which
to
one?
make sure.
Okay. Let me. You can see here and on create inside button. Let's try it. Let me close this. Now what I am doing here, I have
Can
added a
you
log before the button.
better? Sorry to interrupt. Can you move this log to that long running function? Yeah. Yeah, here it will make sense. After thread.
Yes, if I go in the log and type thread, thread, thread. So initially my on create is called thread on create means on create, and this is the main thread. You can see this log is printed. Okay, now if I click on this, press me. So this log will not execute because my thread is going to the sleep. And after this log is printed. After the ANR come, this log is printed inside button main. You can see. So now you can see the current thread is the main thread that was blocking due to the dot sleep. Okay. Yes.
You can see that also on the left side of the logs. There is a number left side.
Left side where?
Till yeah, 26380 if we see, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it will be the same.
These are the same thread. Correct.
Yep.
So yes, we understood this thing. Now if I go back, now what if I do? If I create a new thread and put this long running operation inside a new thread, and I said that we have only one UI thread, so it means whatever the thread we are creating, so those will be the background thread or worker thread. Clear? So let's try to run this. If I click on this, so you can see if I go in the log, if I click again, okay, it is freezing for 5 seconds, but it is not giving me the ANR because it is running on the background thread, or background thread is going to the sleep, so it is working fine. Now what if I am trying to show a toast this, and let's say, okay, it was due to the main activity context piece. Okay, so what if I'm trying to show the toast, so will it work or not? What do you think? What do you think, will it work?
No, because toast we are calling from the thread.
Toast we are calling from the worker thread, and this is a UI part, so it will not
Yes.
show to us. So for that we need to run on the UI thread,
Worker thread, what you mean here?
background thread.
So it's different, right? Worker thread
No,
or same?
no, here I have, now worker thread we can say worker thread, like background thread is, we can say a worker thread.
Okay.
Correct. Like a normal, this is the UI thread, another is the worker thread. So any number of thread apart from the UI thread will be the worker thread only. Okay. Now, so if I run this, if I click on this, so it will take the 5 second first, then after 5 seconds it will show the toast. So it is showing me the toast. Clear?
I have questions.
Yes,
So
yes.
when we say like background thread, like is it running in the background or um what's happened like when we interact when we click the button and we interact with another screen, is it still running for the background thread?
No, what do you ask? Ki, like a background thread is a worker thread. What? Can
Yeah.
you repeat?
So so when we say like background thread and is it running in the background?
Hmm.
And so for example, like when we click press me and we wait for 5 seconds and we use like a background, we create another thread for that.
Hmm.
Is it still run? If we interact with another screen, is it still running?
Hmm.
So let's say we have two buttons here, press
Yes,
me
yes,
and
got it, got it.
press
Okay, so you are,
another screen.
yes, got it. Yes, Han,
Yeah.
got it. So you are basically comparing this background to a like that we are discussing in the service, correct? So,
Yes.
yes, okay. So let's say if you are not managing the life cycle of a coroutine properly, so even if your screen is destroyed, your coroutine will alive. Means like your thread is alive. Your thread is not get cancelled. Your thread operation will running in the background. If you are not managing the life cycle properly.
So meaning with this thread, like the Java thread, it is not managed the lifecycle yet, right?
Yes, yes. So like we need to manage basically.
So does it mean coroutine manage it automatically or
No, no, no.
or
For coroutine as well, we have the scopes like view model scope, life cycle scope. So based on the scope, it will manage the life cycle of the coroutines. We will discuss this in the coroutine.
okay? So right now in this case, when we have two button,
Mm-hmm.
like press me and click to another screen.
Mm-hmm.
So when we click press me and we wait for 5 seconds, right? And we also have another button and we click it to another activity. What do you think? What is gonna happen?
Yes. So in this case, like the operation that is running here, So it should continue. So we need to stop this before moving to the activity. Otherwise, it will still running and leads to the memory leak. Okay.
Sure.
Yes.
Yes.
So yes, yes. What we are
This
discussing.
thread.
How to stop that actually?
I can store in a, let's say, a variable. Let's say this is a thread, and if I want to do in the on destroy in the on create and on destroy or on stop, let's say correct. But for that I need to define the thread variable globally. But if I need to stop here, so what I can do, thread dot, there is a thread dot, instead of this, thread dot start and thread dot interrupt. So this method is for the to stop a thread basically. Okay, and by using this it will throw a interrupted exception, correct, and after the exception it got cancelled successfully or stopped successfully. Okay, so first let me redo this, just a second.
So, Ajim, here we are getting that memory leak, right? When, what was the scenario that?
So let's say if I am not if I am not stopping the thread, and we move to the second activity without stopping the thread in the current activity, so
Okay.
whatever the logic is running inside a thread, so it will leads to the memory leak because activity is not more in the memory,
Yes.
but that
Yes.
thing is running.
Okay.
So that leads to
But
the,
when we do the same thing, when we start a thread in the application class, it will not lead us to the this one memory leak, right?
application crash, huh? So in that case it will not to the memory leak, because I think
Yes.
all the process and all the things will get cancelled. But why we need to expect for the crash?
Yeah, yeah. So application class can we consider as a process? No, or is it
Application
also
class,
thread?
no, no,
The same
no, no,
main thread.
application class doesn't relate it to the process or doesn't relate it to the thread. Basically,
Mhm.
application class will only create once when the app is start.
Hi, Azim. I have a question. So we use like UI thread
Yes, yes.
for like related to UI stuff and background thread for like heavy operation, right?
Hmm.
So can we use uh like something related to UI in the background thread?
Like what type? Can you give an example?
So let's say, can we use like show toast message in the background thread?
Show toast message in the background. So how it will look like? Let's say if you are trying to show the message in the background toast, so will it
Yeah.
visible to the user or not?
So in this case, like, is is it still show to the user? Like, so this means like background thread doesn't show anything to the users.
Listen, हाँ देखो. The first thing is that whatever the things related to the UI, right? Even it is screen, even it is dialogue, even it is fragment, activity, toast, anything that is related to dialogue. So we do not or we cannot show on the background thread, because if it is we are trying to show on the background, so it will not show on the screen. If we run that on the UI thread, so it will only visible to the user. Clear?
Okay.
Yes. Now we discussed this thing, UI thread, background thread, and ANRs, right? Now let's move to the coroutines. Okay. So the first thing is this. What is coroutine? So a coroutine is basically a lightweight thread, like a unit. sorry, a coroutine is a lightweight thread like unit, means whatever the thread is working, or for what thing we are using the thread. So in that case, or for that scenario, we can use the coroutine, but it is lightweight, that can be suspend and resume without blocking a thread. Now here are multiple things. First one is the it is lightweight. Second one, it can be suspend and resume. And third one, without blocking a thread. Got it. Now let's discuss this first one. Like, we have a question that whatever the logic, whatever the things we can do with the thread, why we need the coroutines? Can anyone give me the answer of this? If the things was working fine perfectly in the thread, then why there is need of coroutines?
So, because thread is also a time-consuming process, and switching between the thread, like context switching, is there. So that is also a kind of heavy operation. So that's why we introduce coroutines.
Thread are limited to a device. I think that's why we need coroutines.
Yeah, one more thing. If we have created lot of threads, no, it will slow down our app because of the memory and all. That's all.
Because of the
Memory.
memory, means creation of thread is not a cheap process, it means it is a heavy or costly.
Yes.
What
It
does
is
it mean?
heavy.
Like, costly means it doesn't in the terms of the money, costly means in terms of the memory.
Yes.
Thread creation takes I think 1 MB per creation, or 2 MB, correct, per thread. But on a single thread we can create a thousands of coroutine, and that is the important interview question. Can we create a thousands of coroutine or thread? So yes, we can definitely create, and all coroutines will work perfectly without any block, right? Because what is the reason of that? Like, how we can create a lot of or thousands of coroutines on a single thread? Due to only this concept, this suspend and resume. Now what is this suspend and resume? So means, let's say if this is my coroutine, let's say if this is my coroutine block, or I can say this is my scope, or I can say this is my area, this is a coroutine, correct. Let's say this is a coroutine scope, and coroutine is created. Now inside this I can call some network call, network call, alright, network call or any other heavy operation I want to call this. Now let's say if my network call is taking 2 second, or 4 second to fetch data. So till 4 second, my coroutine, or till in case of the thread, my so if we consider this as a thread instead of coroutine, so what happens in this case? So when the network call is fetching the data and it took the 4 second, so till 4 second it blocks my current thread, or whatever the background thread, it blocks my background thread, right? Because it is taking some time. Now if instead of blocking the thread, what I can do, I can create a coroutine on a thread. Now coroutines work on the principle of suspend and resume. It says that okay, network call is taking 4 seconds, so till 4 seconds I can suspend myself. So this coroutine will get suspend, correct. Now as this will fetch complete data, so after that it will resume the coroutine. Remember one thing, suspend and resume will be related to the only coroutines, not the thread. If someone asks you that coroutine suspends the thread or itself, so basically coroutine suspend and resume itself only. Clear? And who is responsible to suspend and resume the coroutine? there is suspend function. So it means this is a suspend function or network call or any heavy operation that we need to make that thing as a suspend function, because suspend function has only the capability to suspend and resume a coroutine. Right? Clear?
Uh, I think, like how it is remember where it is suspended and where it has resumed back.
Yes.
Means,
Yes, correct.
yeah.
So suspend will only happen when if we get the suspension point.
Okay.
Suspension, like if we get a suspension point, then in that point my coroutine will get suspended. Now see, let's say we have another operation that is fetch. Let's say we have two operations: fetch profile and fetch products. We have two functions or two API call. Correct? So right now we have this coroutine, and I can say this is my a thread. The bigger part, bigger circle is a thread. Clear? And this smaller circle is coroutine. COROU, coroutines. The smaller one is a coroutine. This bigger one is a thread. Clear? The first thing is that now I need to call two API, fetch profile or fetch product from a server. So what I can do? So I can call these two methods inside a single coroutine. Okay. So inside this single coroutine, if I call these two methods, and these two methods is the suspended function. These are the suspend function. So these both function are the suspend function. Got it? You see this. See this. This one is also suspend and this one is also suspend. Now what is the property of suspend function? Suspend function can suspend and resume the execution of coroutine. Clear? Got it? Now let's say initially when my application activity start, so thread is created. So this is a thread. A thread is created. Now inside a thread there is a coroutine. I have launched a coroutine. Clear? In launching a coroutine, I am just calling two functions, fetch profile and fetch product. These both are the suspend function. Now suspend function have the capability to suspend and resume the execution of coroutine. Now what is here? If this function is called, or like this is calling the API, it is taking let's say 4 seconds. So till 4 seconds this coroutine is get suspended. Got it? So till 4 seconds this coroutine is suspended. It means when this coroutine is suspended, so it is unable to execute this fetch product method till 4 seconds, because it suspend the execution of this. Clear? Got it?
Yes, but if there is another coroutine,
Yes.
means coroutine 2, so in that case, that will start it.
Exactly. That I am coming on this. I am coming on this.
Okay.
See, this is my coroutine. So now coroutine is suspended. So if I am calling all these two methods in a single coroutine, so it means they will run sequentially. They will run sequentially. Now, let's say this is my another example. So here in this case, I am launching inside a thread two coroutines. Coroutine, this is my coroutine 1, coroutine 1, and this is my coroutine 2. which is responsible to fetching a product. Clear? Now this fetch profile takes 4 seconds to fetch the data. Okay, so because so basically when it takes the 4 seconds, so it means coroutine 1 is get suspended. Clear? Now coroutine 1 is suspended. Now at the same time we also have the second coroutine. So second coroutine will run in parallel of this, like these two coroutines will run parallelly. Clear? So this means, let's say if my this fetch product is taking, let's say, 2 seconds or 5 seconds to fetch product, to fetch product, and this is coroutine 2. So now what happens? So first it will execute first initially this one, correct? Now it will take the 4 second, so it means coroutine 1 is get suspended. Okay, now it will start executing. So in that case, after the 5 second, like as it reaches to the suspend function, so it means it suspends this coroutine 2 as well. After 5 second it will execute the other part, and similarly after 4 second it will execute the rest part. So this is all about the coroutine, a high level diagram. Everyone, it is clear? We will discuss these things by the definition as well, but this is a complete high level approach that coroutine and thread follow. Remember one thing, you can see, you can observe this thing. This fetch profile does not block my main thread. This fetch profile or this fetch product does not block my main thread, because coroutines has a simple funda that it will suspend or resume only the respective coroutines, not the thread. So that's why on a single thread we can create a lot of coroutines, and they, because they will run on the principle of suspend and resume.
So here both coroutines are running sequentially, right?
Yes, so if we are using the run blocking on top of that, like if we are using a run blocking scope on top of these two coroutines, so they will run the sequentially. Like we will see this with an example, but
By default, it will run sequentially, or we need to specify.
no, we need to specify these launch. See, one thing is that launching a coroutine should launching a coroutine, we cannot launch a coroutine directly because it will require a coroutine scope as well.
Okay.
Yes,
So
we will
when
discuss
we
that.
create a coroutine, or when we launch a coroutine, by default it will not.
No,
If any thread is not there, it will not create a thread. We need to specify the thread.
thread is created, but okay, like we will see this thing, because if I am trying to explain all the things here, like you will not get anything. Let's see the things step by step, but this I am explaining just a over idea, correct? We will see that when the things will get sequentially, when the things will get parallelly, we will discuss on this thing. Okay, but as of now, do you get the idea what is suspending and resuming?
Yes.
Everyone, because like coroutine is kind of a, I can say, a shuffle thing. If we try to understand all the things at once in a single diagram, it is not possible. We will see all the things with examples, right? But whatever the motive of this example is this, I want that you must understand the suspend, resume, and blocking and non-blocking. Got it?
Sorry to interrupt. I want to add one point that
Yes.
so is this mean that coroutine is a abstraction where it manages the thread, like on a single thread it manages everything, like many coroutines as an abstraction.
Okay, abstractions means, like, what do you mean by abstraction here?
Like let's say that at front the coroutine manages everything, but behind that threading is on work. like it is consuming less trading, but it's happening behind the abstraction. So
See,
is it correct?
no, see, okay. Understand this in such a way because to do any work we need a thread, right? Correct. So to launch a coroutine we need a single thread at least, and on a single thread we can create a lot of coroutines. So coroutine is just a wrapper actually. All the things are done actually by the thread, but coroutine is a single wrapper, and it basically manage the execution of the code.
So can we say coroutine is a thread?
No, we cannot say coroutine is not a thread. I can say like it's a wrapper on a thread.
And so multiple coroutine can run on a thread.
Yes.
So um so thread here, is it background thread or main thread or
So
UI thread?
yes, it depends on us, like on which thread we are launching the coroutines. We need to specify that as well. Correct. So by default this is an example of the like main thread, so I have not specified any thread. So right now it is main thread, but if you want to specify or to launch a coroutine on the background thread, so we need to specify the dispatcher that we will discuss. Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
I have one question here. If we will launch multiple coroutine
Mhm.
within the main thread, and so for that, like coroutine can be suspended. So in that case, like for 5 seconds, 6 seconds. So in that case, there will be like not any effect for the main thread.
Yes.
Like we will not get ANR and all.
No, because coroutines, because there is difference between the blocking and the suspending, right?
Okay.
Before
Yeah.
the coroutines thread will get the sleep, or sleep is a blocking nature. Means why we get the NR. So if my thread is blocked or if my thread is unresponsive, so in that case I got the NR. But in case of the coroutine, there is no direct connection of my code to the thread. Thread is completely free to execute the other coroutine.
Okay. Got it.
Got it?
Yeah.
We will discuss the delay and suspend, blocking and suspending. We will discuss. But let's see the things step by step. Okay. So the first thing is that a code is a lightweight thread like unit that can be suspend and resume. Remember one thing, coroutines can be suspend and resume, right? It is not about the thread. Some people misunderstood this thing. They understood that coroutine can suspend and resume the thread. No, coroutines suspend and resume itself by the help of suspending function. And who is responsible to suspend and resume the coroutine? It means the suspend function is responsible to resume and suspend the coroutine. Got it? Without blocking the thread. Everyone, it is clear that this line. Okay, now let's move to the next point. Yes. So let's say I have a thread. So inside a thread, I have created a coroutine. Coroutine will get suspended if it gets the network call or anything. Then when it's suspended, so thread becomes free because now threads have a chance or have the ability to execute another part. Because in that case, a thread will not wait to complete that operation that is running inside a coroutine, because coroutine is suspended. Now it set a flag to the thread that okay, I am suspending now and you are free, you can execute the other coroutines. Clear? And when the suspend function is completed, so it resumes the coroutines later, right? So coroutines don't block the thread, they pause their execution without blocking the underlying thread. Clear? And yes, what is suspend function? Now a suspend function is a function that can pause execution of coroutines and resume it later, right? How we can create a suspend function? So suspend function, you can understand a suspend function with the normal function. This is a normal function, but only we need to add a keyword that is suspend, right? So suspend function will can only be called either from a suspend function or can only called either from a coroutine scope. Clear? Now if you can see, delay is also a suspend function. If you try to call the delay without coroutine scope or without suspend function, you will get an error because delay is a suspend function. So it will require either a coroutine or a suspend function for the calling. Okay. Now here is the point come. Delay does not block the thread. It is a suspend function, and suspend function has the property to only suspend and resume the coroutine. So it doesn't have any relation with the thread. Clear? But thread.sleep directly blocks the thread, blocks the current thread. Either it may be main thread or it may be any background thread. Clear? Yes, Sushmita, it is clear now?
Yes, it is clear.
Yes. So when coroutine suspend, it saves its state, release the thread. It means it says to the thread, okay, like I am suspending, you are free, you can execute the other part. So thread can do other work and coroutine resumes later. Now, how we can create a coroutine or how we can launch a coroutine? Now, what is coroutine builders? We can say that coroutine builder are the to build a coroutine or to launch a coroutine or to create a coroutine, right? So we have a launch and we have a async. Launch is a fire and forget that returns job. It is a very typical definition that you can read on any article. Async use when we want some result and it returns the deferred. Now let's understand with an example. Launch says, okay, do this. Let's say I want to log the events on the server. I do not want the success that my event is success or not. Correct? If I want to perform these types of operations that I do not want any result in the return. So those types of things we can do using the launch. Clear? So let's say I am using the logging. I am doing the sending the analytics event to the server. I am saving something to the database which results is not mandatory. Correct? So for those things we can use the launch. But if we are trying to execute such logic in which the result is mandatory, let's say I am getting a network response, I am uploading an image. So image uploading succeeds or not, I need a success message or a failure message. So in that case I am going to use the async await. Calculating the scores or prices, because in which I want some result expecting after the call. So for that we will use the async. Now if I need to call the multiple APIs in the parallel, right? So for that we will use the async as well. And this is another important question in interview. How you can call the multiple APIs in a function. So you can use the async or await. Now the syntax of this is how we can do the async await and launch. So launch is simple. We can use the any scope, any coroutine scope or dot launch, and it introduces a block, and inside the block we can write our code. If I go about the builders, sorry, if I go about the async, so for the async, I will call my function or my API inside this async block. Now it returns me a deferred object, deferred of T type or generic deferred, right? So that deferred needs to be await to get the actual data. So this is a simple thing. We will understand this with an example, correct? Now let's see if I have multiple API call. Let's say I want to fetch the user. I want to fetch the post at the same time parallelly. So for that, how I can do that? So for that, I will use the async await function. So let's say what I am doing, user deferred, it fetch user returns the user deferred, fetch post returns the post deferred. Clear? I am fetching the notifications as well. So it will return me the notification deferred. Now, right now I am calling all these APIs, but right now I am not getting any result. Clear? But how I can do that? So I need to await this. User deferred await, post deferred dot await, and notification deferred dot await. I need to await all these. Clear? So with the help of this function or like this code or async await, we can call the multiple APIs. So that same snippet you can be asked in the interview as well. That interviewer can ask from you how you can call the multiple APIs in parallel.
So this fetch user and fetch post are another coroutine functions, or like this is going to be a
Yes, yes.
thread.
These are the suspend function. These are the suspend function, and inside the suspend function, there can be up multiple coroutines as well. Inside the fetch user, fetch post, fetch notification. Now let's move to the sequential and parallel thing. Simple. Similarly, we have also one function as well, await all. We can use this function as well. If we have this function like user, post and notification, we have these three defaults. So we can use the await all function. Now let's move to the run blocking.
So Ajim, you told that a suspend function can have multiple coroutines, right?
Yes, it can have.
So suspend function is not related to thread, right? Or we can say that a thread can has a multiple suspend function and then multiple suspend, each suspend function can have multiple coroutines. Is
Kindly
this
kindly do not attach the suspend function with this diagram. Listen,
okay?
we need to create a coroutine. So what I said, coroutine requires at least either your function is suspend or either you have a coroutine scope. Only in that you can launch a coroutine. Correct.
Okay.
So let's say if I have this thing, I have this fetch user. So inside a fetch user, I can have a multiple API as well, or a single API, normal API as well. Correct. But that API call needs some coroutine. Simple. So for that we need to make this fetch user as a suspend function.
Okay.
Okay. Now let's see the run blocking. Then just after this we will see all the things by code. Clear? Because these concepts must be very clear before see the code or before any implementation. Now, what is run blocking? So run blocking basically block the thread. We do not use run blocking in the UI function or UI part because it says it block the thread, and we only use while we write the test case of the Android application. So it's only for the testing purpose. But for the explanation, I will use the run blocking just for the explanation. So what is run blocking? Run blocking starts a coroutine block, but the current run blocking starts a coroutine block, coroutine block, and it block the current thread until everything inside finish. Whatever the statement is writing inside the run blocking, so first it will complete all the statement before the finish. Think of it like a start coroutine. First it start the coroutine, then wait it waits for that to complete. It do not move to any other coroutines or any other scope, right? And don't let anyone else run. Means let's say I have this run blocking scope, so any statement I have, so it will execute this thing sequentially. First it will execute first, then second, then third. It will execute this. Let's say another thing is that if my I have statement is this print ln a, and this is a coroutine scope, and this is a run blocking. So what it happens, this is a coroutine scope or this is a normal thread. So what it happens, so until unless when my all these statements is completed, my coroutine will not try to execute this print, because this run blocking blocks my current thread. It doesn't release the current thread to execute any other operations. Clear? So that's the run blocking that we are going to see. How we can use the run blocking? Let's say in my main function run blocking, yes, suspend function, this is a normal print. We should not use the run blocking inside on create or UI part because it blocks the UI thread that goes to the or that leads to the ANR. Clear? Run blocking means it start a coroutine plus it block the thread. Okay, now let's see all the things with an example. Clear? Just give me a second, let me have some water, then we will start all the things with an example. Like coroutine is really a big topic and it have a lot of doubts, lot of confusions, but I think whatever the
Yeah, hello. Just a quick question here.
yes,
That this run blocking is a part of synchronous execution in a async function, right?
synchronous. So what do you understand by the synchronous and asynchronous?
So synchronous, it will execute in a serial way.
Hmm. Okay, or asynchronous?
Asynchronous, like if a piece of code takes longer time, then it will move on to the next one. And when it gets completed, it will come back to that particular function or code, and it will print or showcase whatever it is there.
Hmm. Okay, so your question is run blocking is a part of synchronous or asynchronous?
Yeah, no, run blocking is a part of synchronous execution in a asynchronous function, right?
Yes, exactly, because like it will execute all the things sequentially.
Okay.
Yes. So we have this main function. So right now we have the print statement before unblocking. This is after unblocking. Okay, now it blocks the current thread. So here current thread is main thread because by default my UI or anything is run on the main thread. Correct? If we are not specifying any thread, so it means it is understood that it is main thread. Okay, now I am using the run block. Inside the run block I am just launching a coroutine. See, run blocking is actually uh, create a coroutine as well. So now you can see here it is main thread. Now when we use the run blocking, so it start a coroutine or it will create a coroutine scope, right? Now inside this coroutine I have launched another coroutine that is using this launch, and inside this another coroutine we have these statements. Okay, now these print statement and delay, these will run inside this parent or run blocking coroutine. Clear? Now let's see how the execution will happen. First let's try to run this. Now if you see here, the first thing is this one is executed before run blocking. Now run blocking, it enters into the run blocking, so it blocks the current thread. Now you can see task 1 is executed, means either ideally it should execute this launch block, but it is not executing this, it is executing task 1 initially. Why? Because this launch is creating another coroutine. Clear? So first it will try to execute its instant child. Run blocking instant child are these. This is the separate nested coroutine actually, that is launch is creating. So first task 1 is executed. Now execution go to the delay. So it will take the, during these 3 seconds the main thread is stuck, right? Because it blocks the main thread. Okay, now the thing is, if you can see, this is my launch. Okay, so this is my launch, it will start executing this one before launch. Now the execution comes here, delay, so it is taking the 4 second. So when the 4 second is completed, before the 4 second, this 3 second will get completed. So if the 3 second is completed before this 4 second, it will execute this task 2. Okay, and after that it will resume this launch and execute this. Now you can see when it comes here, print means before launch, when it comes here delay, so delay is a suspend function. If you go inside this, delay is a suspend function. Okay, and what I told you, that suspend function, if we get a suspend function inside a coroutine, it will suspend the execution of this launch. It means launch is unable to execute this until my 4 seconds get completed. Clear? So when it reaches to this, so it will suspend this launch and start executing this task 2. Now after the 4 second, it will resume this launch and start executing the next statement. If I try to run this again, you can see first, before, it will get before run blocking task 1, then before launch task 2, then inside launch, and after run blocking. You got it, this example? Another thing is that, see this one, this before run blocking is execute first. Now this after run blocking will only execute when my run blocking code is completely executed, because this run blocking blocks my main thread. So it doesn't allow to execute this statement before the completion of this run blocking code. Everyone, it is clear?
Yeah, I have a doubt. Can you please, expand the code once?
Okay, just a second. Yes.
So here, if we understand in a very, general terms, this the piece of code inside the launch block, it is executed by a different thread, and the piece of code.
No, no, not different
After
thread.
the,
Not different thread. Only thread is one here. Thread is only main thread here. We have main thread only. There is only one thread. There is no other thread. So on main thread, correct, we are launching two coroutines. The first coroutine is run blocking, and inside this coroutine we are launching another coroutine. I have explained this here. You can see we only have this single thread. Inside this single thread, I launch a coroutine. Okay, so we are not launching multiple threads. We are just launching multiple coroutines on a single thread. Got it, Sambhav?
yes, but I have, if that is the case, then how come before launch and this task one are coming together?
How can before launch and task 2? Okay.
Sorry, yeah, task
Yes,
two.
okay.
Print
Actually,
the
this
print.
is, you can see now, this one is simple print one. Correct.
Hmm.
This is not taking the second line. Okay. And if I try to run this, actually it is taking some time. You can see. I can see you in the, actually in the IntelliJ, in this it is not showing you correctly. Let me open the IntelliJ IDEA. Just a second. If I run this, now you can see task 2 is not come. Now after some time it executed. If I run this again, initially these three executed. Task 2 come after some time, then inside launch, then after run blocking. You got it? Sambhav?
Yes, I'm just going through the
Yes, yes.
response.
So only one first direct child it will execute, right? After that, it can
Yes,
go
yes.
for the coroutine.
Exactly.
Okay, so here other question is that, as you told that the run block will run on the main thread.
Yes.
So here, if you see, then
Not run
we
on
have
the
to
main thread. No, I am not saying ki run block run on the main thread. I am saying run block blocks the current thread.
Okay, so why we are not getting ANR here? Because it's 4 plus 3, almost 7 second here we have, right?
4 plus 3 is second. See, actually inside the run blocking, run blocking blocks the current thread, but actually first one it is a coroutine, right? Another thing is this one. This is a launch. This is another
Okay.
coroutine, and you can see these things are actually executed. My thread is not get sleep.
So here, if we make 3,000 to 5,000 or 6,000, we will get ANR.
If I, let's say I do this,
Okay.
Actually,
okay,
delay
okay,
is a
ANR,
suspended
okay,
jump.
ANR,
It will
okay,
not
see,
block.
see one thing. ANR, you will not observe here the first thing. You will not observe ANR here because ANR you will get only in the UI part, right? The second thing is that here we are using a simple delay. And what delay does, if I go here, we have two things. Thread dot sleep and other is delay. Correct? Delay basically suspend the coroutine. Now you can see this delay is actually mm, this is wrong actually. This delay, this 7 second is actually
Suspending.
suspending this current coroutine,
Yes.
this coroutine, not the thread. This
Yes, yes,
delay,
got it.
right? So this is the case. It is not blocking the thread.
So yeah, if we just conclude here what all is happening. So here we are using one main thread. Can you please just note it down once?
Is where
Anywhere, yeah, anywhere in the screen. Yeah, we are using one main thread. We are using two coroutine here. One
yes,
is run blocking, the other one is launch.
yes. So main thread,
One main thread.
correct?
Okay.
Main thread. So we have a CR1. Okay, inside the CR1 I have CR2 inside the CR1,
Yeah.
right? And before this coroutine I have statement 1, okay, and I have statement 2. You got it? So first this statement 1 will execute, then it will enter into this coroutine is of blocking nature, correct? It will say that do not execute this statement 2 until unless my these all operations will get executed. Okay, now in the CR2 first it will execute all the immediate childs. What are the immediate childs? Immediate childs are these things. So first it will try to execute this. Now when it is executing this, when it will get the suspension point, it will try to execute the nested launch. Okay, so
Yeah.
this is the conclusion of this code.
Yeah. So as we have mentioned earlier, that one thread can launch multiple coroutines. That is this example, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
आप कितने भी कर सकते हो उसमें. You can launch n number of coroutines.
Okay. In a single thread itself.
And in single thread.
Okay.
Clear?
Understood. Yeah.
Ajay, I have one question. Like,
Yes.
if we will write the same code within onCreate method, like I am talking about the run blocking, so then what will happen?
ANRs. It will cause the ANR because in the UI part, if you use the run blocking, correct, and yes, you will use the delay as well. So because it will take, I can say, it will take a time or freeze the current thread in the UI part basically.
But you are telling
If
like
you say
this code will be running in main thread. So within onCreate also it will be running on main thread. So why in that case we will be getting ANR?
let
That I am
me,
not getting.
okay, if I write here, let's see here. This one is button 1, okay, this one is this, done. If I try to run this now,
Yeah.
let's set the 6 second. This one. Okay, if I click on the press me, now you can see
Yeah, the ANR is coming.
ANR is coming. Clear?
Yeah, but what is the reason? Because delay is the suspending function, so it is not blocking the thread.
We are wrapping this delay inside the run blocking, but run blocking is blocking the thread. So how much time it is taking, till that time my main thread will be blocked.
Okay.
So that's why it is causing the ANRs. So thank you guys. Good night.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, bye
Thanks.
bye.
Good night.
Yeah, thank you.